Hey guys, it is Mandy and welcome to my first Let's Play. We are going to be playing Mega Man X together, which is one of my all-time favorite game series. I am so excited to share it with you. This game came out in the United States in 1994. It is a spin-off of the original Mega Man games with a more mature storyline. Mega Man X is different than the character Mega Man. They are not the same, and it's important to make that distinction. Mega Man X takes place 100 years after the Mega Man games. And we get a little bit of an intro to the storyline here when we boot up the game, but part of the intro actually takes place in the game manual, as was common at this time. So let's read this. X is the first of a new generation of robots which contain an innovative new feature, the ability to think, feel, and make their own decisions. However, this ability could be very dangerous. If X were to break the first rule of robotics, a robot must never harm a human being, the results would be disastrous, and I fear that no force on Earth could stop him. Approximately 30 years will be required before we can safely confirm his reliability. Unfortunately, I will not live to see that day, nor do I have anyone to carry on my work. Therefore, I have decided to seal him in this capsule, which will test his internal systems until his reliability has been confirmed. Please do not disturb the capsule until that time. X possesses great risks as well as great possibilities. I can only hope for the best. September 18, 20XX T. Light. That is Dr. Thomas Light. He's the creator of Mega Man and the creator of Mega Man X. Part of the intro actually took place in the game manual, and you had to read it to find out what was going on. So I'm just going to go through this with you really quickly. It is written in a journal entry style called the Journal of Dr. Kane. April 8th, still nothing for the last month. I've been sifting through the dirt trying to find a fossil record which would verify my findings on Mesozoic plant life, but so far I have come up empty. Tomorrow I'll move my archaeological dig to a new site. Maybe I'll have better luck. April 9th, set up camp at the new site and laid out a preliminary grid work for the dig. I got some odd readings at location E46. It looks like something metallic is buried several meters below the surface. I think I'll begin there tomorrow. April 10th, I can't believe what I found. Several meters below the surface was the remains of a lab. Although most of the lab was damaged, I did manage to find papers that indicate that it belonged to the famous robot designer Dr. Thomas Light. I've begun to review what is left of Dr. Light's notes, and it looks like he was onto a major breakthrough. The notes keep referring to the capsule. April 13th, I found it standing 14 meters high and 8 meters wide. The capsule was hidden underneath a collapsed ceiling. Even underneath all the rubble, the capsule has remained intact and was still running some sort of diagnostic when I found it. There is a warning on the capsule, but all indicators on the capsule show green. It should be safe to open it. I will know tomorrow. April 14th. Today I met X. Not simply a robot, X is something totally different. Light has given him the ability to think and make his own decisions. At times, X seems more like a man than a machine. April 15th. Light was a genius. I've been going over his design notes, and they are a quantum leap beyond anything the world has ever seen. Using them as a guide, I may be able to replicate his design and integrate them into a new generation of robots. I'll begin transporting X and the rest of Dr. Light's things back to my lab tomorrow. November 22nd. With X's help, I have completed my first Reploid. Although I don't completely understand how all of Dr. Light's systems work, I was able to make some minor modifications, and the Reploid seems to be functioning perfectly. His strength and intelligence seem limitless, and he is fully able to make his own decisions. In fact, we got into our first argument. How intriguing. January 3rd. The new Reploids have been running off the assembly line for several weeks. It's amazing how easily they've been able to adapt to even the most difficult jobs. It still is a bit odd to see them working side by side with humans, but everyone seems to be happy to accept them. February 16th. 3 Reploids went maverick today and injured 2 people before they were stopped. This is the 3rd instance of this type of behavior, and I still have no idea what is causing it. There is some talk about stopping the assembly of any more Reploids, but I don't think it will happen. Maybe we've become too dependent on them. The council has now decided to set up a group of hunters to destroy any Maverick before it can cause injury. The Reploid named Sigma has been assigned to lead the hunters. Sigma is one of the most intelligent Reploids I've created and contains my latest circuit designs. His systems should be immune to any problems. May 16th, it's been 2 months since Sigma took control of the Maverick hunters, and he and his hunters have been able to prevent any further injury to the population. Everyone is starting to breathe a little bit easier. I am a little worried about X. He seems unsure of his place in life and what Dr. Light had planned for him, but given time, I'm sure he'll find his way. June 4th, my worst nightmare has just come true. Sigma went Maverick today and took most of the other hunters with him. His motives are unclear, but it seems that he decided that humans are inferior and limiting the growth of the Reploids. For that reason, he decided that all humans should be eradicated. Most of the population is in hiding or trying to flee the city. I'm not sure how long we can hold out against Sigma's forces. I fear I've built the Reploids too well. X is taking the news of the war very personally. He wants to join Zero, the new leader of the Maverick Hunters, when he goes after Sigma. I'm doubtful of their chances, but I won't stop him. Something has to be done. This purple Boba Fett looking guy is named Vile, and in Japan he's actually called Vava. I'm not really sure why they changed it, but they did, so call him whatever you like. You worthless piece of scrap metal, did you think you could defeat me? Enter Zero, leader of the Maverick Hunters and X's best friend. I guess I'm not powerful enough to defeat him. By the way, I love the 80s/90s anime aesthetic that's going on with the art here. X, you shouldn't expect to defeat him. He is designed to be a war machine. Remember, you have not reached full power yet. If you use all the abilities you were designed with, you should become stronger. You may even become as powerful as I am. Doesn't that sound pretentious? It's actually not. I mean, Zero, he's just blunt, and he is a lot stronger than X at this point, so it's a fair statement. I'll scout ahead and collect as much information on Sigma's fortress as I can. I'll meet up with you when you get there. See you later. X, I know you can do it. He's an encouraging guy. Alright, so there is no save ability in this game. What they have instead are password screens. So you actually have to write all these down, enter these numbers if you want to get back to the state that you were at. I used to have notebooks full of these passwords back in the day. So now the hunt for Sigma begins, but before we can get to Sigma, we have to beat all of his robot masters. We're gonna start with Chill Penguin. I absolutely love the music for this game. Actually, all the Mega Man games have excellent music. Some awesome remixes have been made too, so check that out if you're interested. I listen to playlists of this stuff while I do art, so... It has been a long time since I've played this, so if it's a little clunky, bear with me, I apologize. Although muscle memory sticks with you for a long time, so hopefully it's not going to be an issue. some of these jumps are kind of challenging because you have to do them without having dash. That jump in particular was always horrible. Alright, we have found our first capsule. This is a big deal. So you've come. We find a mysterious hologram of Dr. Light hanging out in the middle of this snow base. X, I give you the ability to choose your own path in life. And I hoped the world would allow you to choose a peaceful one. But now it seems that you are destined to fight. Because I thought the world might need a new champion, I have hidden capsules like this one. If you find and use them, you will be able to increase your powers beyond anything the world has ever known. Step into this capsule and receive an acceleration system to boost your speed. Good luck, X. I find it pretty convenient that after X was suddenly discovered, these capsules just appeared, and it begs the question, is Dr. Light's hologram self-aware? Because he seems to know that X is suddenly destined to fight, and as the games go on, it just kind of becomes a little bit more ambiguous. Almost seems like Dr. Light, despite being dead, has somehow put his consciousness into these machines. And X is the only one who can actually activate them. It's pretty interesting. It's not really explicitly stated though, so I don't know. It's hard to know. And I also just wonder why the capsules are just sitting around in these areas. You know, I mean, you have to forgive them because it's a game and you need the upgrades, but still, the story's a little confusing. And look at these guys. What is their job? Were they created to make snowballs? I mean, and was it actually malicious? Or who made this? Was it supposed to be fun and now they're just mean and... Ooh, got a life. Which I need in real life. Haha. Alright, this is a boss hallway. We have found our first boss. I don't have his weakness. The way this works is it's kind of like a rock, paper, scissors type thing. Each boss gives you a weapon when you defeat them, and that weapon is strong against another boss. But since this is the first boss, I have to beat him with my X-Buster, my standard weapon. Not a big deal though. Chill Penguin has got a pretty simple pattern, and as long as I pay attention to what it is, it shouldn't be an issue. Just take some patience, making sure I'm on the correct wall. If I'm ever on the opposite wall than I should be, that snow blowing move he does will actually blow me off the wall. That's kind of annoying because it usually drops you right on top of him, and touching him does damage to me. So, as you can see, it's not too difficult of a pattern to get down. Some of the bosses, like Launch Octopus, are a lot more complicated for some reason. They don't have as consistent patterns, but Chill Penguin is pretty simple and easy peasy. That's our first boss. So now we get this cool diagram, it tells us we got Shotgun Ice, which is Chill Penguin's weapon, and now we can use that. On Spark Mandrill, we have another password screen, and we're gonna move on. We're just gonna do one more boss for this episode, and then we're gonna call it a day, and I'll do the next episode after that. So, he's some kind of an ape. One of the things that I love about this game is that the levels are dynamic and they change depending on the order that I defeat the Mavericks. So for example, if I beat Storm Eagle prior to coming to this stage, I don't have to deal with these annoying sparks because Storm Eagle's level crashes down on to this level and breaks some stuff. So it's kind of cool just to see how things change depending on the order that you defeat the bosses. This moon enemy, by the way, is really annoying. You have to preemptively shoot and just know where it's gonna be or it's gonna hit you because it's really fast. I've played it a couple times, so I remember where it was. This guy's pretty annoying. His little water droplets get you stuck in one spot. He bounces around all over the place, and he can be kind of hard to avoid. If you do get hit by him, he does a lot of damage, and I feel like at this stage in the game, it's a little more challenging than you would expect. Just take some patience and practice. So at this point in the game, I don't have any upgrades other than the dash. And it's a matter of being patient. As time goes on, there are a lot of upgrades that I can get. These turtles are pretty strong. They just have that aerial attack. Now this heart tank is impossible to reach without the dash. And you can see even still it's a little bit of a challenging jump, but that fills up my health a little bit, so mistakes are not as costly. Their range is pretty good with those little grenades. Like their little parachutes. Alright, these moons are back. They can be so hard to avoid. Super annoying. Alright, we made it to the boss. We're back in the boss hallway. Just gonna switch to our ice weapon because that is Spark Mandrill's weakness. As long as you time this right, he's pretty ridiculously easy. As you can see, he barely got a chance to do anything. But that's alright. And now we have gained Spark Mandrill's weapon, Electric Spark. X gets a yellow armor for this one. And we've got our password screen. So that's it for the first episode of Mega Man X Let's Play with me. And we'll be back in another episode soon. And we'll get into the next stages. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I will see you guys next time. Bye.